but last time he played in Fusion, number 58, he got 7th, so...
Ooh, okay.
And Wolf,
So, yes,
in general, is a bit of a better character when you're just looking for just raw, good tools, like, he's the good stuff character.
yes. Wolf
To
has
put it...
no reason to be bad because Wolf can play pretty much any style of game you want them to. I think that's what separates top tiers from high tiers. It's characters who are able to play their game, and if you want to play your game, they can also play it, just maybe not quite as good. I think that's kind of the thing with them, with Wolf especially.
Uh-oh, he does not have a jump.
But he doesn't, but he does have a side B over top of the bowling ball.
Yeah, he kind of acknowledging that Villager doesn't... unless Villager or Prismoid would go out there to try and really hard punish, those high recoveries he could do repeatedly, and eventually he'll get away with it. So long as he's not able to give Prismoid the chance to commit to something like a bowling ball. And he is rewarded because of it, landing Wolf's... pretty good back air, and another Wolf flash to center. He's getting away with those plenty. Prismoid tunneling too hard on trying to set up a bowling ball at ledge, like so. He has his jump back now.
Not gonna go for the axe on the tree, is Prismoid. Ooh, and a good job hugging the bottom end of the stage, to not get hit by that bowling ball and recovering from there. Very, very good stuff from Grimm there. And I have to think that this is a -1 matchup for Villager. I mean,
You would think.
Wolf definitely has the ability, not the fastest spacey, but also not the slowest. Really can just hit you with a forward air and combo you, with how technical, based off how technical the Wolf really is. And honestly, really proving it here, doing a very good job is Grimm.
Yeah, I really like the differentiations between all three spacies, because all three of them play advantage super well. Like, that's just kind of par for the course for being a spacey. And speaking of advantage, Prismoid is gonna shut me up with how many grabs he got on those roll reads, and the power of just clipping your opponent with slingshot. Because while it doesn't do much, it still puts them in hit stun, which is all you need to keep the combo going.
Yeah.
Ooh, not the parry. But can't find the kill. Can't find the kill quite yet. And the pivot grabs are coming in full force for Prismoid. He's successfully counter-adapted. That was risky. that was a life flashing before his life was flashing before my eyes.
Hey, when you're playing from the back like that, you gotta go for some ballsy stuff sometimes. And hey, it's really good for morale if you hit those, and it's really not so detrimental for it if you don't. Because if you don't hit it, it's like, oh, it's bad odds. Of course I didn't hit it. But a good axe from Prismoid to seal the deal on that one. Lick that envelope, seal it shut, put it in the mailbox. That one's being shipped out as we speak. But, time will tell if Grimm can get some return postage on that one.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a sense of, like, stage or character. Maybe you switch up the stage, go for something a little bit more familiar of a counter pick. I know Wolf has a tendency to like stages like Smashville. But what really dug Grimm a hole towards the end of that game was what dug him out of that same hole in the beginning. He kept recovering the platform. He kept repeatedly trying to not deal with ledge situations, not deal with bowling ball, just like, hey, let me get back to the stage, eat whatever punish, and reset neutral. But the punish that Prismoid, smartly so, kept going for was just to throw him back all stage, not really go for the full combo that Villager can do, whether it be with a strong hit or weak hit nair, start off with a slingshot, didn't matter. He would just grab and throw him back off stage and rinse and repeat.
Yeah, and that's honestly how that plays. I mean, Wolf's only weak aspect of the character is when they're off stage, to be quite honest with you. And the fact that Prismoid, recognized that was their win condition and just exploited it to the max is definitely something powerful. I am gonna be honest with you. I expect the Fox switch here. Yep, and there it is. where was I going with that? Fox is a character who, again, the quintessential rushdown character, also has a very easy time, not very easy, but an easy enough time against projectiles simply because of that shine reflector. But the thing about Prismoid is that Prismoid was really good with baiting it out with the wolf, and I can kind of imagine the same old song and dance is going to be available for countering the Fox. But the thing is, Prismoid off to a very explosive start here, despite the counter pick. Definitely seems like they don't want to give any room to Grimm. Yeah, unfortunate, but that's part of the character sometimes, babies.
Yeah, well, so Fox has a couple of things that Wolf doesn't, as do all the Spaceys. Like, Falco brings you insane, like, ground to air, air to ground combo starters, just puts you in a vortex forever. Yes. Fox has amazing speed that can keep his advantage going for just for minutes at a time, it feels like. Wolf contrasts that with a similarly good advantage state, but with powerful combos and, even more importantly, really early kill setups. So by switching from Wolf, because you're not getting the chance to set up yourself as much, going to Fox, while you're maybe not going to be as consistent with killing, he's able to punish where Prismoid, or at the very least where Villager, is at their weakest, which is on ledge right here. While, Lloyd Rocket is active as soon as you can see it, it doesn't matter because Fox's Nair will just beat it anyway.
Yeah, and even if he gets ballsy enough to go for a reflector on it, they can just pocket it, and now you have two Lloyds. It definitely seems like the thing about Fox is Fox is super good in advantage, like you were saying. But like when you said Villager's weakest at ledge, I think Fox is pretty weak at ledge too.
Oh yeah.
And like this is the quintessential percent where you can really get those kill confirms with the Nair into up smash, forward tilt into check chases, back airs that will kill for Fox. So if Grimm can capitalize on that, that's very important. But the thing is, Prismoid is playing super smart and super defensively now that they have a stock lead, that it's just really forcing Grimm to be playing a lot more aggressively than you might honestly want them to be.
Yeah, the secret to a lot of these game plans that characters can put out is that they need a lead against a heavy zoning archetype like Villager is. Like, no matter how much they try, Villager is going to end up falling back on those slingshots, on those nairs to really keep you out, on those Lloyd Rockets, all of that stuff.
Yeah. Once you feel pressured to approach by a zoner, the match is next to over unless you're just really darn good at approaching. Which honestly, Grimm's just trying to get hits in, not being super coy or tactical about it, just going for it. And while I do admire the fire in this young individual, I'm also kind of hesitant to congratulate them because it seems like they're not playing incredibly safe, and that's something you absolutely need to do in order to have the advantage in this situation, which they do not.
He's doing a good job of saving his jump, but one thing that hasn't really pulled out, somehow up to almost killed, one thing that hasn't been pulled out on the side of Grimm is the gun. He's not tried to be patient, he's not tried to counter zone, to put up damage up to the point where things like Nair would eventually kill. He's just like full headlong, like super rush in, see how this approach works out, see how this approach works out. And they're calculated approaches, but at the end of the day, they're approaches, and that's exactly what Villager wants you to do. 150 on Fox is not looking quite good.
Yeah, he needs to play pretty much perfectly if he wants to get the win here. A good pivot grab. That back throw looked like it was one motion with the. My southern came out there a little bit. Did you hear that?
Just a little.
The pivot grab back throw looked like one complete motion there, and got the kill. High percent, pretty light character in Fox. Back throw.
Very light character.
Right at ledge, gonna be killing. Good stuff to Prismoid. Another 2-0 for Prismoid. Gonna be advancing into the next round of singles competition. Yeah, not much really